I'm James Naughtie, and my book is called New Elizabethans, 60 Portraits of Our Age. And the way we came to this was looking at the Jubilee, because there's an artificial frame, 60 years, 6 decades. How do you tell the story of that time? And we thought on Radio 4, well, apart from asking the Radio 4 audience to nominate people, which is always dangerous, not a vote, because that would have been catastrophe, but nominations. So more than 1,000 names came in. Who are the people who've changed our time? We've left their tracks in the sand, for good or ill. And we got a bunch of the great and the good to whittle this down to 60. And the nice thing for me is I'm not responsible for the people who are on the list. I know you were. But they're a wonderful mix, actually, because there are people beginning with Edmund Hillary, who climbed Everest, and it was announced on the day of the coronation, of course, in June '53, right through to the Queen herself. Well, you've got to end with the Queen, haven't you? But everybody in between tells, I think, the kind of winding story of our age. And the interesting thing to me, as somebody who was born in the early 50s, is that, of course, it's a story that has a great deal of change, some of it quite violent, some of it surprising, some of it alarming to people, economic, social, but there's also a lot of continuity. And to me, I find it like, I think I say in the introduction, a sort of flickering home movie. Yeah. It's not history. It's a kind of personal journey. From the very minute that people started to nominate names, David Attenborough was up there at the top and stayed there right till the end. And I think there was a sense in which people wanted to have the people who had defined the age for them, who'd spoken for them, whose voices they'd grown up with. You see, Simon Cowell, the first decade of the 21st century, whatever people think of him, and he does, of course, excite opposite views, he has created a kind of Saturday night feeling in that age, which is exactly like, I don't know, Bruce Forsyth did in the 1950s with Sunday Night at the London Palladium. So he's right to be there, Murdoch's right to be there, and Cowell. But of course, most of them are there because they're sort of much loved. I got some lovely messages from sort of Radio 4 listeners who are, you know, devoted to letting you know what they think, whether it's good or ill, saying whether they agreed or disagreed with that. But you got the sense of a great connection, and I do think that it does catch, I hope, the flavour of our age, which is one of incredible change, but at the same time, an amazing story of resilience, actually.